Have you ever wondered why some coaches seem to attract clients really effortlessly, while others are doing all the same things seemingly, but not getting clients? Sometimes it's not magic, it's not luck, it is influence and the psychology behind why people say yes. I'm currently away in Spain with some wonderful people, and we're having a kind of working retreat. We are retreating more than working, I must say, but we have had the most amazing conversations at night because we've been using a card deck to create conversations that will deepen our thinking in our business. Last night, a particular card reminded me of these 7 timeless principles. They are from Robert Cialdini's book, Influence. It's an absolute classic, and I read it years ago when I started my business. And some of the stories inside were shocking. If you haven't read it already, do read it. These influence techniques can be used for good or for bad. As I mentioned, some stories in the book were quite shocking. And I chose to use them ethically in my business. So I'm really excited to share with you today why people buy and how you can communicate with confidence without ever feeling salesy, pushy, or sleazy. If you've ever felt awkward promoting your coaching or second guessed yourself when inviting someone to work with you, you are not alone. Most coaches were never taught how influence really works, so you can either overgive and burn out or copy marketing tactics that make you cringe. When you get things right, things can start to flow, as has happened to me. I recently looked at lots of my marketing from a couple of years ago. I can really see now why I'm gaining so many more clients and so much more authority than I had back then. But always have compassion for your former self. We only learn the skills by being prepared to be bad when we start. Just like marketing and influence, just like any other skill, is something that we learn through doing. So I hope today's episode will spur you on. Most people use influence unconsciously or even worse, manipulatively. They use scarcity, pressure instead of empathy and trust. But influence at its core isn't about manipulation. It is about understanding human nature and communicating in a way that feels honest, not hype, but also keeps your ideal client at the center. I always think it's all about your intention. It's the same with feedback or anything else that happens in life. If you have a good intention, then usually you have a way better outcome. And I know you have the most amazing intentions to change people's lives. So really excited to share these 7 ways with you today to help your ideal client feel safe, understood, and respected. So they say yes faster and stay longer for them and for you. By the end of this episode, you will know the 7 universal principles behind every yes, how to use them in your coaching business ethically, what to avoid so you never feel manipulative, and one simple reflection you can use to strengthen your influence this week. So our first influence lever is reciprocity. We are wired to give back when someone gives to us. We were reflecting last night in the restaurant that that's why they'll give you a free Baileys at the end of the meal, because then you feel so grateful, you might give them a bigger tip and go back. That is why sharing value works in marketing, whether that's a podcast, a tip on LinkedIn, or a thoughtful note to a client. But here is the catch. It only works when it's genuine and you're not expecting anything in return. If you are only giving to get, people will really start to feel that. So use this one, reciprocity, because you want to serve, not because you are hoping for a sale. Lever 2 is commitment and consistency. Humans like to act consistently with what they've already said or done in the past. That means small commitments build big trust. If someone joins your email list, comments on your post, signs up for a workshop, they're already saying yes in small ways. So each of those tiny, tiny yeses will build the confidence they need to say yes after that discovery call. If you do sales training, you'll know that they straight away start by asking questions. Is it okay that I ask you some questions? So the person immediately starts saying yes. So it becomes natural to say yes throughout that conversation. So focus on inviting those small steps up your staircase, not one giant leap, one step from your social to say, would you like to join my email list? Maybe from your email list, would you like to come to a workshop? Maybe from the workshop, would you like to do a discovery call? So those small steps where you get yeses more often will mean that one giant yes in the long term. Our third lever is social proof. When we are certain, we look to others. That is why case studies are so powerful. They are about others sharing about their experience of you rather than you saying you are brilliant. They also show your audience that people like you have had success. I've had tons of clients message me saying something like, I'm just the same as Natasha. I'm working 3 days a week and I've got 2 young kids. And if she made it work, maybe I can make it work. So that's why it's great to have loads of these case studies and start building them up. So your ideal client will find someone that they resonate with in their circumstance and start seeing what is possible for them. So don't be afraid to ask for clients to share their stories. It's not bragging. It's about sharing their experience of working with you, not what an amazing coach you are necessarily, but where they were before, what they found helpful, and where they are now. Lever 4 is authority. We trust people who demonstrate credibility, but authority isn't about shouting or name dropping. It's quiet confidence. It's saying, after coaching 150 coaches, here's what I've learned, and showing up with experience and not ego. Your authority will grow from that repetition, that consistency, and that honest truth rather than volume. Lever 5 is liking. So people buy from people that they like, and liking isn't about being everyone's friend. It is about connection with that person you want to buy from. So show your personality, share the real you, your values, your humor, all of your quirks especially are amazing. How can you get people to understand who you are, and then your message will land deeper with them? Ask yourself, am I showing up as a whole person or just professional? Lever 6 is scarcity. Scarcity works because we value what's limited. Used poorly, this can be manipulative. So honesty is the key. If you have limited places, then say so. If your program starts next term, make that clear. It's not pressure, it's clarity. So for example, I take a maximum of 5 clients each month. So I share on my page, 5 spaces left, 4 spaces left, 3 spaces left, because that is the honest truth. Last month, I had to change my page to say it was full and change for the next date. And that's a genuine thing. There were more people wanting to join, and I had to say, you're going to have to wait a month to November to start the accelerator then. So if there is scarcity in any which way, then do share that. And this can also be done in one-on-one coaching. We talked about this last night because one of the people here was saying, I've actually only got availability for 2 clients a month. And so we were like, we've never heard you say that. You are so busy. You could easily share, this is my availability. And honestly, those places will be snapped up like a shot if they heard that there were limited places. So you are helping people to make a decision, not forcing one. I think it's such a powerful thing to help people decide one way or another. I know a client was thinking about joining my program and then said, I might wait till January. And I was just gutted, like 3 months wasted, and not just wasted, but actually usually going downhill. So by the time I get to work with her, so I'm being quite selfish here in my reasoning, I've actually got more work to do to bring her back up to the confidence level she's probably at today versus the confidence level she will be at in 3 months' time when she's maybe made no progress by herself. So it's all about the intention for you and your ideal client. You want them to have the best result, and the best result usually means them actually taking action now versus losing time, losing energy, losing confidence, and losing momentum. Okay, lever 7, our final one is unity. This was a last-minute principle added. So this one is about a shared identity and belonging. When you speak directly to your people, they instantly feel it. For me, that is qualified coaches or consultants who want to grow their business with honesty, not hype. And they hear that and they think, yes, that's me. And that sense of us is powerful, and it turns your audience into a community. Influence isn't about persuasion tricks. It is about empathy, connection, and understanding human behavior. Like I said, use these steps wisely, use it with great intention, and they can transform your business. This week, notice where you are already using these principles naturally. Maybe you are naturally generous. Maybe it's consistency. Maybe it's simply the way you are connecting. Start there and build from it. I hope you enjoyed this episode. I would love you to share it with another coach who is building their business honestly. Please do share it with your coach training group or any other coaches you know. It makes a huge difference to me to know that I am helping the community become more successful. And if you would like my help in weaving these naturally into your marketing and client attraction, then do join me inside my mentorship program, The Business of Coaching. I have 3 spaces left to start on the 11th of November. So I am modeling scarcity right there with 3 spaces left and the date that you need to make a decision by to join and be set up for 2026. Thank you so much for joining me today. And remember, influence isn't about manipulation or changing people's minds. It's about helping them to make the right decision for them. Like I say at the end of every episode, trust yourself, believe in yourself, and be the wise gardener who keeps on watering the seed. Thank you so much for listening to this episode of Women in the Coaching Arena. I have a mass of free resources on my website, joannalottcoaching.com. That's Joanna with an A and Lott with 2 T's, joannalottcoaching.com. And I'll also put links in the show notes below. Let me know if you found this episode useful, share it with a friend, and leave me a review, and I will personally thank you for that. Remember to trust yourself, believe in yourself, and be the wise gardener who keeps on watering the seed. Get into the arena, dare greatly, and try.